Welcome to the Calm Corner podcast. My name is Elisa, and I'm your host of this podcast and the creator of the mindfulness blog and website, calmcorner.com. This podcast is for female empaths and highly sensitive people who want to experience more joy and peace in their daily life with themselves and in their relationships. In this podcast, you'll hear stories to help connect and inspire, tools to help promote calm and joy in everyday life, such as mindfulness, self-care, relationship spirituality, and guided meditations to decrease stress. Thanks for being here, and let's go right ahead. All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I wanted to share a little bit more about ways to add more coziness into your life. So if you're looking for that cozy lifestyle vibes, this episode is for you. I know I've taken a break from recording for over half a year, but I am back. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in. So to set this episode up, I wanted to share PIES, which is the acronym PIES, as a framework to share more about ways to add more coziness into your life. So PIES stands for physical, and that will include physical body and physical surrounding. I, which stands for intellectual. E, which is emotions, and S, spiritual. So we're gonna take the rest of this time together to talk more and share ideas about PIES, how to add more coziness into your life. So let's start off with P, so physical body. Now, I really like doing a slow flow or a restorative yoga practice. And for me, I feel like living in the hustle and bustle of the everyday life, I want to invite a more slower pace style into my yoga practice, but that doesn't mean that it's easier, right? So think cozy, think blankets, think using props. I really enjoy using the Peloton app for yoga classes. Now, it could be that my sister generously is, paying for the family subscription and I'm benefiting off that since the pandemic. But hey, I'm not complaining. But if you don't have a yoga practice, but you're curious, right? Maybe just doing one pose, standing tall with your hands, above you like a tree or even beside you, right? And just holding that pose and really feel into it. Feel that your legs are, rooting down to the ground like trees, or that your hands are up in the sky and absorbing all of the energy from there. Just try it out. And hey, no judgment here if you want to do a child's pose or a corpse pose, which is, with the corpse pose, it's, lying down. Hey, that works too. And there are benefits to that. So just try to, consider adding in a pose a day, maybe, right? Maybe share with a friend too. Or if you're feeling up to it, consider doing a yoga practice, starting that, restarting that, or seeing if there's a yoga studio nearby, right? Or maybe a meetup where you could do it outside. Now, I know that depending on where you live, outdoors is maybe not possible for you right now. So just know that there are different ideas to engage with that. Other ways to increase more coziness in the physical body is to connect with nature, right? If that is accessible to you, doing that walk, just moving your body is important, right? Getting those walks and stretches in. And if that's not accessible to you, maybe just tuning in to an image or a video that's really calming. You know, have you seen one of those like solo camping videos? It's kind of peaceful and adventurous at the same time. Maybe you're into nature walks, maybe you're into like a rural farm life where they do gardening, or maybe you're into more of an urban feel. So, some recommendations in case you're interested in tuning into like YouTube videos. I recommend Nekoniwa. It's spelled Nekoniwa. Her 86M2. So her and then the number 86M2, or Malama Life. So just a few of those content creators that you can consider checking out. All right. The other thing that you can consider adding to your physical body is thinking of clothing and accessories. Now, I'm not promoting you to go out and buy clothes if you're not into that. I feel that, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of clothes, a lot of belongings already. So take my tip as a grain of salt, but think layers, but make it comfortable. So, what I mean is that if the material looks cozy but feels stiff on your skin, then it's a no, honey. Um, how you feel affects how you carry out the rest of the day. So, material matters. Um, Now, some of you may be wondering, what if someone gifted this to me? Um, well, I believe that, you know, what as a gift receiver, what you do with it is up to you. So just consider, right? Maybe you can repurpose it, reuse it in some ways, or consider donating it to someone who could benefit from it. And if you bought something maybe during the sales, and you're not sure if you're gonna like it, right? Be mindful of the return policy and take it to your advantage, but don't abuse this policy. And if you're traveling, I recommend carrying a scarf or socks, maybe some mittens for travel, because you never know. For example, on the airplanes, it could get really cold. Um, and we're not sure if the airline's going to have any blankets that you can ask for. So just be prepared to bring those layers. And then another idea is to add a headband to your look. Now, bonus points if you can find a handmade headband. Maybe you're into like knitting, crocheting. Maybe that could be a interesting project, or you could consider supporting your local small businesses. I just visited a Christmas market in my area, and found really cute handmade headband, and I can also put it in the show notes or link to it if you're into those. The last tip for physical body is to eat warm foods and drinks. So we want to practice mindful and intuitive eating, and if the weather is cold, then your body will most likely be craving for that warm foods and drinks. So in the morning, instead of just reaching for like ice cold water, which could really shock your system, consider easing your body into the day with, warming up the water, right? If you have like a pot where you could just heat up the water, or this like the water heater, electric one, whatever floats your boat here will work. Think soups and stews and porridge or joke, whatever you're craving for that warm foods or drinks. Maybe consider adding some cinnamon to your warm milk. And then if you're into chai tea, I'll also share this really yummy chai tea recipe as shared from Spirit Rock. So maybe you can enjoy that too. And then my last tip for this, warm foods and drinks is to consider carrying an insulated water bottle. So you can, have a warm drink. Maybe you like hot cocoa, maybe you like some hot tea, or just kind of warm water instead of always drinking that cold water. And then this next segment for physical is your physical surroundings. So consider decluttering Maybe every time you're gonna go out to the thrift store or local shelter, consider taking a bag or just a few items, and donating them. What if you're not religious but still want to be festive, right? Yes, you can still, you don't need to have a Christmas tree, but to be religious, right? Maybe it's a wreath, maybe it's some fairy lights, maybe it's a pre-lit fir tree. So thinking, something easy, or maybe a candle. So again, no need to go out and buy those expensive candles. The dollar store may have it, right? Your thrift store may have it, but I've been enjoying just lighting a candle and taking it with me to the bathroom while I take a bath, and just turning off the lights and having that moment of coziness. And it just feels really delicious. But maybe you make it a candlelit dinner. Maybe you're doing some deep work, some journaling, light a candle, or as a calm down time before bed. So to make it a ritual for you. All right, the next letter of the pies is I, which is intellectual. So, keep a curious mindset. Surround yourself with books. The library may be a great option. Use books at the library is also a great option, or use books at the thrift store, etc. Current ideas for some books: Arthur Brooke and Oprah Winfrey's Build the Life You Want, Helena Woods Slow Living, and um, Pema Chodron books. Any of her books are gold. Shannon Abel's The Road to La Papillon, Daily Meditations on True Contentment. So just books that would add to your coziness intellectually. And if you have recommendations for books that you're really enjoying, please send them my way too. Now, intellectual also could mean like audio listening, right? Maybe you're into podcasts or audiobooks, that could be great too, or some guided meditations, right? That could be Lavendaire, again, Helena Woods, or mine, Calm Corner. So you can just tune into one of those or all of them, right? And see if that is vibing with you. Also, to stretch our growth mindset more, consider joining a book club, maybe, right? Or maybe there's um, an idea or a topic you are interested in. Maybe it's financial freedom, maybe it's astrology, right? So, kind of looking into what sparks your interest, and following the breadcrumbs. Um, Consider adding music to your life, right? So vinyls, as you can see, are having a comeback, and I do own them now, as of this year. Actually, that's a lie. I did own them last year when my 90-year-old friend gave them to me. So I did inherited some from her, and then started to, get the record player this year. But yeah, vinyls, I found that the thrift stores or rummage sales are great for these older vintage options for the records and vinyls. And yes, classic hits are great, but maybe also classical music, right, just hits different in vinyl. An example of my morning classical playlist include Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite, Weber Invitation to the Dance, OP 65, and R. Strauss, Der Rosenkavalier, Waltzes, OP 59. So just a few musical notes to add to your life, to add to more coziness. But hey, you can also consider just um, not listening to anything, right? Maybe you're always used to having like background noise in the background, but hey, maybe you can consider just not listening to anything and being really present to your surrounding, and see how that goes. All right, we're almost done with the letters here. Halfway done, more than halfway done. The next letter of the pies is E, emotional. So, emotional coziness. What that means to it could be different, but that could be maybe calling a friend. Maybe it's texting three people on your contact list right now, and it could just be a simple message like, "Hey, I'm thinking of you, wishing you a peaceful day or a magical season." So something that just, starting the conversation, not necessarily expecting them to contact you in return. So, what I'm trying to say is do it without expecting a response. Just do it because you want to do it, and um, share that you're thinking of them. And maybe you're into writing letters just like me or postcards. But yeah, going old school here, and those snail mails are maybe having a comeback. Maybe adding stickers or a personalized letter. Or a drawing, something that would make it a little more cozy. And then lastly, for emotionally here, just consider expanding your support system. Maybe you've moved to a new area and you don't have any friends. And I understand there's different types of friends here. And as someone once told me, just like you want to diversify your portfolio for investing, you want to diversify your portfolio of friends too. And so maybe you're kind of craving that everyday friend where you're texting every day or just drop by. You can drop off something, but consider, you know, making friends, putting yourself out there, even though it may feel uncomfortable and vulnerable, right? It's kind of like you are dating for a friend, right? And that could really bring up certain emotions and difficult feelings, and that's totally okay. Take steps, take chances, and see, maybe you might end up with a really awesome friends. There are certain apps out there such as Bumble BFF, I've heard, for making friends, but maybe it's looking at connecting with people at community events too. For example, again, I mentioned the Christmas market. I was able to speak to vendors, or maybe there's people in the community that you feel that you want to talk to a little bit more, maybe someone at the yoga studio, right? So yes, it's okay to make small talks, and because great friendships stem from those small talks. And yes, you can always, like me, if you crave kind of deeper connections, yes, you may get there with certain friends, but yeah, start out with those small talks because you never know where it could lead you. Other ways to expand your support system, consider working with a life coach. Some of you may know or not, I have launched my life coach practice. And if you're interested in just learning more about it or you're curious about it, feel free to reach out to me. Schedule a free discovery call and see if we might be a good match. Consider working with a counselor or a therapist. When I lived in San Francisco, it was a very lonely period. And I also was there, during the pandemic too. So that's when I really consistently started to work with a counselor, and have found it to be really supportive and life changing for me. So let's not let's get rid of the stigma, right, of working with a counselor or a therapist, and start choosing yourself and what you need, and with the people who support you. Okay. And then another idea for expanding your support system is, working with a doula. Now, not everyone may benefit from working with a doula, and you may be wondering, wait, Elisa, what's a doula? Or maybe you've heard of a birth doula, but maybe not a death doula. but they could provide emotional, physical, and educational support for someone at super key points in their life, such as maybe you're a birthing person, maybe you're pregnant and you're kind of imagining what your birthing experience could look like, or maybe um, you or a family member is going through a dying process, right, and may need more emotional, physical, or educational support. Consider working with a doula. And then lastly, spiritually, um, the spiritual relationship is an important one. And you may have heard of this quote, how um, we're all we're all humans having a spiritual experience. Or wait, is it spiritual beings having a human experience? I think that one. But I think you get my point. Is it's important to strengthen this spiritual relationship with yourself. And how I do it is I meditate every single day, and I've been doing this for the past 7 years, and I've found it to be really, again, like, uh, renewal for me. It's a renewal process, but also super important in honing my intuition, my wisdom, um, the sense of connection that I have with myself. So what I do is I meditate in the morning. I engage in shamatha meditation. I do 30 minutes of sitting meditation every day. But hey, if you're starting out, every minute counts. So just maybe start with 3 or 5 minutes. Those do add up, and that will really add to your willpower. Imagine the next time you will inevitably come across a crisis, a time of crisis, or really a challenging time. Having this reserve of willpower that you've already accumulated, based on each day you meditate, will come in super handy. So please start meditating if you haven't already, and strengthen that connection with yourself, and so that you can continue to give back to others. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. This is probably one of the longer episodes, but really appreciate you being here, tuning in, and would like to hear from you. All right. Take good care. All right, that may be a lot of information. And if you're wondering, how can I integrate or some of these tips into my life, just maybe choose one. Choose an area, whether it's choose one of the slice of the pie, right? Choose a slice of the pie. So it could be physical, right? Physical body or physical surrounding. It could be intellectual. It could be emotional, or it could be spiritual. Just pick one slice of the pie here and see how to integrate just one bite, just one sliver, one bite of that pie, to a more cozy life. All right, you can do it. I believe in you. Bye. All right, that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. For more information, please visit calmcorner.com. And to download a freebie as a thank you, please go to calmcorner.com/freebie to download some goodies. The password to get to the site is calmjoy. All right, see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day.